All right, let's see here. So, Jeff Hicks is looking at this opener, thinking about it. We're gonna ship this back.
So we have Jeff Hicks, Grixis Piles, Yorion, and we have the Grixis Dash Shadow. And then these. I mean, you can have these too. We got the deck list that we needed, so we're good. No, we should be good. You can get them sorted. Alright, so we had our judge come in to get deck list to have them sorted. Makes it a ton easier on this, makes it easier on him when it comes to deck checks throughout the event. We're still resolving mulligans. I will let it be known that the round timer is slightly off for the people playing on stream. The judge is constantly coming back and updating the stream match because they get up and move when the round timer starts to come sit on the stream. They get a couple extra minutes to play. So we'll say that the judge will keep him on track because he knows he's been very good about it. Don't know. Aaron Hammer is our judge for this event, the solo judge, because he's a mad lad and just rocks these events by himself.
All right, so Corey's gonna fire off this bauble. Look at Jeff's top card. See what he's looking at. Yep, ship it back to him. Draw. But that hand does look good for Jeff, though. That looks. We've got land and a ton of interaction here.
Yeah, we got at least 2 counter spells. We got some fatal pushes. I was a little surprised to not see Corey bobble himself having a fetch land in play, but maybe his hand's solid enough that he doesn't feel like he needs to manipulate the top. Because the plan there would be to bobble yourself, see if it's a card you need on top. Because you know your opponent showed you Yorion, you can kind of potentially get a pile, although if you would have put him on blink, you'd have been incredibly wrong.
True.
So that's kind of like a little mind game that people are probably going to have with Jeff all day, is thinking maybe he's on Blink or Omnath Piles, and then he's like, nah, I'm on Grixis. Oh.
Yep.
Yeah. Just for clarity, in the Grixis pile, the Y stands for Yorion. It's a little too long of a name to get it to fit there.
So are we going to just let this DRC get value and make him try to fill up the yard? Or we're going to push it now?
Feel like you want to, if you're Jeff early on here, I think you kind of want to use your mana when you have the chance to.
I agree.
Because you have that value card in Yorion. I do know Jeff has, we don't have the deck list in front of us, so I can't tell you, but all the cards in their decks, but I know Jeff has some Dothy Voidwalkers in his list.
Okay.
Corey had put his down as though he was playing Naked Shadow, which generally means they're playing Dress Down. So we do know that that plan's in. Obviously, Jeff's not going to know if he's playing Dress Down or not until he sees it.
True.
But you can kind of assume because it's pretty stock, I would say, right now. Getting our 80 card shuffles.
Oh, what?
I think he realized that he shuffled the bottom half and the top half and didn't actually shuffle them together.
Yeah.
So now he's going to present it to cut.
We're going to fire off this fatal push.
The other reason I feel like you have to be aggressive with this fatal push here is you have a basic island hand. You won't have your counter spells up, but you will have expressive iteration being able to be cast the next turn to try to dig and find a land. And I believe you have a second fatal push for backup if you need it. Well, we found a Terminate.
Yeah, so
That's also a card that we can't cash right now.
that's a little rough, but Spreading Seas?
We will Spreading Seas to Blood Crypt, draw a card. He's probably really hoping for a land here. By playing a roughly 30 to 32, I would imagine, in our Grixis control list. Because that's what he's trying to do. He wants to bring a spicy list. He was so excited to show it to me when I was like, yeah, I heard you on a spicy one. He's like, oh, yeah, for sure. You want to see it? I mean, we were outside. Could have rained any moment. He pulled it out.
Oh.
I was just like, you're a bold man. You are a bold man.
Yeah, much more bold than I.
Yeah, I'd be like, nah, we're going inside.
Oh, my pauper deck. You want to see my pauper deck real quick? Can we go inside, though?
Yeah, for sure. So I really think, unless unless his Grixis pile has been kind of a thing, I imagine Corey's kind of in the tank a little bit on what he's playing against.
Oh no, he's definitely in the tank right now. And what really threw me off here is, Corey's concealing his hand very well from the camera,
Yeah.
but we didn't fetch up a black source.
Yeah, it's a little interesting. Only thing I can really think of is, I mean, we played Drowns. That's what we require a blue source for. We do have a judge question.
Yeah, we did.
I'm not exactly sure what it is. We're not following that match right now. We'll try to get an update from the judge later, so we know what's happening if we pan over to these other matches. But yeah, other than 'cause even Damien was talking about it. Other than Drown the Lock, you don't really need a whole lot of blue, or an expressive iteration, obviously.
Yes.
But you don't really need a ton, especially when the fact that you fetched up knowing that that's an island.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're stuck on blue, red, blue.
Yeah, it's
So maybe a little bit of a misplay there.
granted he could just be sitting on a fetch.
It could not matter, but
Are we really? Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
So, what were we tanking here? Were we thinking about conserving life total? But we're shadow. So,
I just think you're nervous about what you're playing against. Honestly, you saw Yorion, you're probably thinking Blink or some other Omnath 4-color pile, and so far you've seen Fatal Push, you've seen Spreading Seas, he's gotten a blue, black, red land, and now he's got another fetch land, which I don't know if he drew that off the Spreading Seas or ripped it off the top, but that's really good for the Grixis pile side.
I believe
we
we
went
ripped
with it.
that off the top because I'm pretty sure that we had the steam vents on the spreading seas draw.
Okay, I might not have seen. That's what I was saying. I wasn't
Yeah.
quite sure where we got the land from.
But we
Oh,
definitely,
yeah,
we
for
we,
sure.
we definitely have the two now. All right, hey, we got the black source. So
I do think the only issue still is you have a red for your Darcy. One, I would assume because shadows are playing Rag Advance.
yeah,
So, I mean, you still only have one for that. If you dash, you can make a treasure if it gets through, obviously. But Jeff's passing full mana up. Calling into mana is going to pop the dress down. That makes sense.
yeah.
And then probably make Jeff discard a card. For Jeff, I don't know if you're really required to answer this. I could see the reason to, because you just feel like it's whatever. Especially if you have another push in hand or another answer to the board. Why not make him strenuous on mana so he doesn't have the free choice of black and red? Now this could be a weird situation because again, don't have the deck list, but he could only have one blood grip,
Yeah,
which
that would be
I
rough.
don't know if that's correct. I do know they play a ton of fetch lands in comparison to their actual lands because they're trying to get that free 3 damage to themselves. But if
So this K command, I can only assume it would have been, target player discards a card, and deal 2 damage to target creature or player. We don't have anything in. Oh, I guess we could have gotten back that DRC, but it's a very strange position to be in.
all right, so I had Taryn pull up the recent MTG. I think it was from a qualifier
Okay.
online, and they play 3 blood crypts.
Okay.
So he must have just really been banking on this Culligan's command kind of getting through.
And it definitely didn't.
Yeah.
So I can see the iteration. I think that's another Scalding Tarn in hand. Man. Corey, could you please lean over the table a little bit more and
So we can see the cards?
so we can see the cards?
Yeah, let me see your grip.
Yeah, please. Kindly, sir. Sir, what's in your hand,
Sir?
sir? Let's see. Jeff has, 1 mana available, and we know that it's really just a push,
Yeah.
right?
do not know the card he put in his hand, but I believe he's putting a land on the bottom, and he's probably putting this Ragvan there.
In the
He puts a Ragvan on bottom.
no, that rag's still in his hand. He's putting
Is
that rag's going to exile.
He swindled me, dude.
Yeah.
I got swindled.
Little sleight of hand there.
Little sleight of hand on me. So we shock into Steam Vents. We now have the mana to either cast this rag or dash this rag. I would imagine this Ragvan's going to get dashed. A lot of times in these matchups, you want to force him to answer it when it's in play.
Pretty sure you can only dash from hand.
I do not believe so.
No?
Aaron had told me.
Dash up and reach.
Okay.
I think I could be wrong, but I do think even with like Luris in play, you can actually dash it from your graveyard.
Okay.
Another weird mechanic. You ready for this one?
Please.
If you're ready for a headache? If you dash a Ragavan and a dress down hits the board, so if they don't hit you and they get the like treasure and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
You don't put it back in your hand on that turn, but on the next end step, it goes back to your hand because that ability stays attached to the creature.
That is.
You ready for that headache?
That seems like. Wait, so it would be. Is it the next end step or your next end
It
step?
might be your. I would have to read rag, but either way, it's like that. The fact that dash stays attached is actually kind of crazy.
That is ridiculous.
Man, I would imagine for the Grixis Shadow player, we're not too excited about all these lands.
We are not happy.
Like, and again, sometimes this happens when you have a DRC. I think the card itself has kind of spoiled a lot of players because they're so used to having a Dragon Rage Chandler bobbling, putting that third land or whatever on top that they don't want in the bin. Because we were talking the other day and we're like, y'all don't know how good you have it with this DRC. Because they're like, man, I just put 3 lands in the bin. They're like, yeah, but that's 3 lands you did not have to draw.
Yep.
Which you normally would have had to in the past. Which is so huge.
And it's really allowing players to be proactive and reactive. So like, oh, I'm always being able to have the cards that I need at the ready.
Because you get situations where you thought she's your opponent, you know they have like a cryptic command, for example, and then you do something, they use that cryptic command. You knew what the top card was from earlier, but you're like, oh, I don't need that now. Let me bolt them, flip that top card over, because I know the cryptic command is out of their hand now.
Yep.
And then just do what you got to do.
Just keep moving on.
But we're at 9 to 12. I want to say that Jeff does have Snapcasters.
I think we're playing Yorion though.
But we're playing a big meaty boy. And the reason Snapcaster is relevant in terms of like Fatal Push, Snap Bolt, and Corey's going to have to be careful because he's at 9.
That's what, 3 strikes right now?
Yorion's 4-5.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
if you do any other damage, it's 2 strikes.
Yeah, any other damage. Spreading Seas, and are we going to shut down
We're flickering it with the Yorion, because Spreading Seas is still technically under your control.
Yeah.
You still own it, and it's under your
But
control.
I'm saying, are we just going to keep it on the Blood Crypt, though? I can only assume so.
I would imagine you would keep it on the Blood Crypt, because as of right now, he only has 1 black source.
Oh, well, that.
Did we jam an Unholy Heat before checking if we had Delirium?
Oh, I mean, like, he has a pile of cards in there.
Yeah, but I've seen people get trolled.
Oh, really?
Damien did it with 12 cards, and it just didn't work.
Well, let's think about it for a second. Fetch, fetch DRC, Bobble, K command.
Yeah. I'm just saying in general, a lot of times, like, players will just do it because they're so used to having Delirium, and they haven't had a Bobble that game, and they're like, oh, wait, I don't have the free artifact I normally have.
Oh, they also had 5. Iteration.
Instant, sorcery, artifact, land, and creature.
Yep.
Easy peasy. Game's free. Oh, we see an important card hit the bin. We have a Croxa.
Yeah, that's...
Right now, it's fine. He's going to be able to play it, make him discard a card. Not too big of a struggle on the Jeff's side, but what's going to happen if we ever find a second black land? This is escaping. Another discard's coming out. I mean, we could counterspell it, obviously, but if it ever sticks, there's our other black source.
Mm-hmm.
And Yorion's not on the board to hit him with the 1/2 monkey bill.
See here. Draw for turn. That's a terminate. We may not be able to counter it right now. Well, I guarantee that terminate's gonna get through.
For sure, for sure. Man, people are getting rowdy out there.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. It's like when you're talking in a cafeteria and everybody just starts picking up. It's like people are talking progressively louder than everybody.
Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh, something about to go down?
Yeah.
Did someone... Gosh.
Got to summon Mike. So we've met. Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know what the enchantment card.
I was going to ask what that Saga did.
It's the
I feel like it's
Hideshu, or I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it. It's the one that destroys all 1 mana.
Pretty sure it's...
One CMC.
Hitsugu?
Hidetsugu? Turn that is on you. If you go to Goldfish, it's on the new one. Yeah. It destroys all CMC1 permanents.
Okay.
Non-lands, obviously.
Yeah.
Then exiles all graveyards, and then you flip it, and it actually has a win condition on the back.
Is there...
A very whack win condition. Like, it seems a little unreasonable to get there before you just, like, kill them normally. But when it deals damage, you put a 1/1 counter on it. Whenever all deals 10 damage to a player, if they add 10 or more damage to that player, they just lose.
That is a very real win condition.
It also has trample.
I see that. That is so unnecessary. I love it. This is great. It's an ogre shaman.
It's
Vessel
gone.
of the all-consuming. It's gone, but like...
It got drowned.
That's fine.
But like...
He understood.
I was a little excited for a new card. But drowning it makes a ton of sense because you do not want your graveyard to be exiled considering you just put a Croxa in it.
What is this like red-black deck that's playing the red-black artifact, I want to say, from the new set?
Oh, the Anvil?
Yeah. Do we know anyone playing Anvil today?
I'm not exactly sure. I don't know if... I would imagine Taryn would have bumped me on the shoulder if you printed one off because we were printing off deck list earlier. 2 shadows. Here we go.
I mean, let's just put...
Corey says, here's my 2 shadows. This is my win condition. I have 1 card in hand. Deal with it.
We're going to push.
I would imagine one gets pushed.
Push.
I did believe I saw Archmage's Charm. And now our Death Shadow can be a 1/1.
Yeah, is there... No, it can be a 2/2.
Or is it a 2/2? It's 13.
Yeah, it's 13.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, don't worry. That's still a 3-turn clock.
Yeah, it's still a 3-turn. It's still a 3-turn clock. So we get a swamp. We're preserving a little more life total because I would assume we don't have a second answer really other than...
Yeah, push 1, steal the other.
Steal the other one, maybe. I do not know if he has one in hand. I just know he has it in his 7. It's 80, 95.
Yeah.
Yorion gets me so messed up.
I mean, it's basically Commander, so and I know you don't play Commander, so it is fine.
Building a Commander deck.
Really?
Selling Legacy.
This excites me.
Fatal push 1 shadow. We kind of saw that line coming, obviously.
Yep. We're just gonna untap.
For Jeff, good sign. It didn't get instantly countered.
All right.
We have a terminate in hand. We have an expressive iteration in hand.
We only have 1 red source, right?
From the looks of it.
Gosh.
No, that's a blood crypt under the island.
Okay. Yeah.
Colligan's Command, Ragavan, and a counterspell. I mean, what 3 more options do you want?
Counterspell's
Here's
gonna
my
go
car, here's my house, here's the bank keys. Go ahead.
Yeah, here you go, bud. Have a good day.
Honestly, they're kind of hard options if you really think about it. Because, like, you're probably been in the rag. Counterspell in hand, and Colligan's Command, and then you're going to go down to 1 mana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, yeah, I definitely believe...
So we did the stack exactly how we thought.
Yep. Boom.
Now, the real interesting part is whether or not we just kill it with the spell we have in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Or we kill it, put a creature back in our hand.
Mm-hmm.
Or make him discard his last card. I think he only has 1 card left. But the issue that happens is we start escaping Croxa.
Yeah.
So I believe it's a scenario where we're just going to have to terminate this.
terminate this, hold counterspell for Croxa, and then just hope that's all he has.
Yep.
Even, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3 red sources and 2 black sources right now.
Apologies. I thought he already made a land drop or didn't have one in hand. Now we can call against command and hold counterspell. Different scenario entirely. Not believe he had a land. Sometimes a little hard to tell. So he does the plan we figured. He makes him discard Luris, which I guess we should have known that was his only card in hand. But I wasn't entirely sure that was his only card in hand because he just had him face down. So we get rid of Luris. Can't call against command that, obviously.
But guess what we can do? We can fetch, get a red source, and terminate.
Cannot. We left up a blue source.
Oh.
Because we had to.
Oh. Did we though? We didn't have to. No.
Black, red.
That's a tapped basic swamp.
You could have just tapped his island. Yep. He tapped his watery grave. Keep your basics tapped. Keep your red basics not tapped.
Correct.
So a little bit of an issue. We get hit. Go to 4. He might not care.
Honestly, probably doesn't.
Yeah. Just holding up to counter. Obviously, because again, we don't want to deal with a Croxa resolved.
No. So tap 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I assume. We can tap our mana in a way that we can play the Yorion. Oh yeah, sure.
No, Yorion's gone, right?
No.
Or does he pick it back up?
No, he K commanded back to his hand.
Why you're in here?
Yeah, I got you. So like we have a Yorion in hand, and I was saying that we could play the Yorion and hold up like counterspell a counterspell or terminate.
Yeah, so instead of killing the shadow is what you were saying.
Yeah. But
but then you would just have to trade it, right?
Yeah. But
so it's just like
I understand we're going to hold up the counterspell and 1, 2 for an iteration. We think this is fine, right? Yeah, because we only care about the threat that's going to come into play. Sure, this can find a threat, but that's not really what we're after.
We're slightly lackluster on cards in Grixis' hand, and one of them happens to be another land. It looks like.
Yeah. So we have like land counterspell Yorion,
which is not a safe card with
not
with Homeboy coming out, because if you discard a land, you still take 3.
Are we going? Why don't we just counter this? Oh no, because he dashed it. Okay.
You can still counter at that.
Yeah, but I'm saying I was saying because the only reason why I was thinking that we wouldn't counter this right here is if he actually just hard cast it, because then he would be in a position where he could play the Croxa back.
Yeah.
But because he used the 2 mana to dash, we can definitely counter this here and not be worried about a Croxa coming out. 1, 2.
We got a second one.
Snooze.
So in our top 4, there was 2 rags, and we had put one at the bottom earlier, but we fetched, shuffled.
Yep.
It found its way back to the promised land.
Oh my gosh. Look at the view count.
Nice.
Let's go. Already popping. Thanks.
We get it 2. We get a treasure. He still doesn't get to flashback this Croxa. So, I said flashback. Escape the Croxa.
Yeah.
We all know what I'm saying.
Escape, flashback.
The ducks, the dodge, the bobs, the weaves.
This has been a grindy game 1.
Yeah. Terran did adjust the time, so this is closer to what our actual time will be. We have 2 other matches being played right now, but I don't feel like we're going to need them.
Nope.
We'll obviously peek through them if we get to game 2. I mean, we're going to get there at some point, I imagine. But once we get there, we'll peek at the other ones. We have Dredge at the table playing against 4-color Omnath with Yorion. We have Hardened Scales playing against Junt. Well, never mind. We do not have Hardened Scales playing against John anymore, it looks like.
My game looks to be over. Spreading Seas. And where are we gonna put this one now? I assume just back in the Blood Crypt. Like,
Spreading Seas, target your treasure.
draw a card. What was that? Please show it. Oh,
That's a damnation.
yeah. That's
Not really the best card to draw when you have a Yorion in play. We're back to the two turner.
yeah. Man.
Do we have the cold read? That we're just gonna flash his Croaks back. And dash a rag.
By the look that Nathaniel Snyder just gave me, I think he won. So
Yep.
all right, let's pick and choose what combination of cards we want to exile.
You know, the main thing we're probably trying to make sure is that we keep Delirium.
Mm-hmm. One, two, three, four, five, six. One.
Oh, nice. Letting him know that you didn't have to exile all the cards.
Hey.
Good
guy,
job, Jeff. Good job. And he discards the damnation, which makes a ton of sense.
Yep.
Because your Yorion gets over this rag. If it comes down to the
Yeah.
fact that you want to hit him.
That 2-mana 6/6 rag. Yep.
He has a rag man in hand, dog.
I know. I'm much more worried about the Croxa.
Yeah, like I know the Croaks is an issue. I'm just saying you're not going to damnation your win con.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. Because you have a terminate in hand. The only so he doesn't dash rag.
Yeah.
He
Like,
keeps it protected. Which
yeah, makes sense.
makes sense.
Yeah. I mean,
Maybe my boy Jeff will forget about it. We are stuck at 2.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, my bad. My bad, Jeff. I'm sorry.
Okay, so
Here's the keys to my other car.
so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We only have 3 blue lands left.
Yeah.
Oh, that hurts. Okay, that's fine. So we will bottom 1, exile the land, put 1 in hand. Okay.
Man, he's going rogue. Oh, we got us a reader, and we are reading it as well. The relevance for this is obviously it counters a spell. Target player draws 2 cards, and then it takes permanent converted mana cost 1 or less, which can be a Ragavan.
Yep.
If that's so what you want to do. Not really like what you need to do in this spot, because if it's dashed, it still goes back to the owner's hand.
What do we? I just want to know what we're thinking.
Yeah, it's a little
what-
little scary because it looks like we're thinking of a tap out situation here.
I don't.
Unless we put the other charm in hand.
Yeah, we
But
have.
then I don't know why we wouldn't exile the land and play the land.
Granted,
I know we have one in hand.
Yeah. So granted, I guess this is coming from 2 people that are not in a stress situation.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So like.
We got a lot of hindsight 2020 here.
Yeah, yeah. So like he's out there round 1, game 1, going to game 1's creeping into the 40-minute
Yeah,
mark.
so he just chose not to cast it.
Yeah, makes sense. But ooh.
Oh, he had me a little on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
I guess his plan was to show. Maybe he was trying to show the charm to be like, I'm going to put this in exile and let it go. Maybe just kind of juke him by putting 1 in hand, maybe. I'm
To me,
I'm
that
trying
just-
to make a rap, you know?
That just tells me that he's got other things. Like,
Yeah.
like he has a better than a charm. What's better than a charm here? Oh,
Yeah.
a charm.
So this gets terminated.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I would assume we waited till combat.
Well, yeah, but before like leaving main phase 1, going into combat, before the
Yeah.
declare attacker step.
Because we don't want it to discard, because again, he gets to flash it back if he so chooses,
Yeah.
which is why we have the charm. What if he alpha moves, lets him flash it back, but draws 2 cards, discards a card, and then draws the bolt. Snap after. Just gets him.
Yeah.
A lot of what ifs.
A lot of what ifs.
You'd see me pop off.
Dude.
In your 80 card pile, if your top 2 cards are Bolt Snap. Because I don't even know if he plays Snap at this point, because we've seen a lot of cards.
I don't even know if he plays creatures other than Yorion.
Yeah, I know he plays Dolphy.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you didn't look at the list, I wouldn't believe you.
As yet.
Yeah, no.
I don't believe me, because I haven't seen one.
No DRCs, no Rags. I haven't seen a Voidwalker.
He got me. I got
No
juked
Croxus?
when I looked at his deck. So he has Mystic Disputes in the side.
Sure.
As you know, most decks probably will. But I don't know why when I saw it, it was right below his lands, and I thought it was the blue Mystic land.
Oh, Sanctuary?
Yeah, and I was
Yeah.
like, bud? He goes, nah, dude, I wish. That thing died for Urosens. I was like, that's true. That is true.
So, yeah, I
mean, we have.
He's tanking the draw too. He's
Yeah,
tanking the draw
that's
too.
the only thing I could think about. Because he does have to fetch, I guess, right? Because he doesn't actually have the blue.
Correct. He would have to go to 1.
That's, I mean, 80 cards, I feel. You do have a fetch land in play. That is not a blue mana. So he just discards it. Oh my god, I drew the Colligan's command. It doesn't matter. He used to hit him
He's
for 4 in the
dead.
head and Colligan's command him.
He's dead. Oh my gosh.
Potentially.
No
What is
way.
this?
He'll go to 5.
Oh, tell me this is just the whirlwind denial. Island? I thought
Chat.
there was going to be a rep mount for Unholy Heat.
I'm holding my breath.
Oh, wait. My bad.
Dress down.
It loses flying. Was not thinking about that one, I would imagine.
No. No, we were not. And are we just dead now?
My, how the turns have been tabled.
Oh, no. Oh, gosh.
At this point, we have to check how many cards Gory will have in his bin to see if he can escape this again, which I believe he can.
Oh,
from
no.
the looks of it.
He definitely can.
But again, keeps you from dying.
Mm-hmm. And we could... Oh, yeah, no, and we can get the Yorion back, too.
Yeah.
So that's super cool.
So I feel like it's the same scenario as before. We're going to Gulligan's command this thing, do the extra 2 to it, put Yorion in hand, jam Yorion, flicker our thing that we flickered 3 times. They're spreading seas at this point.
Okay, so K command, shoot that, get Yorion back. Ugh. Man, I'm so happy I'm not playing right now. Granted, I'd be playing a much less stressful deck, like, Living End or something. Just really brain dead, but... Ooh. Honor, why don't you just play a meta deck? Just play Grixis Shadow. I don't know. Look at this. Does that look like...
You can't tell me he's having fun right now.
There's no shot. No shot.
But back to our game at hand, maybe, unless
Hey,
he...
Look at the dispute that I said that he was going to bring in. Crazy.
I feel like I'm not gonna lie. I thought I only saw him put 4 cards in.
I'm pretty sure it's just those 4. So I really want to see. I want to see Corey just get blown out by he's gonna turn 3, just expressive iteration, and then Jeff's gonna be like, dispute. Boom, game over.
You just want to dispute blowout. You don't really care who does it.
Yeah, I don't care. I just want to say because it's such a tease. Oh,
Wow.
Now Spellbomb. That's a pretty good start.
Yeah. See, if you're playing, just to go back to what I was talking. If you're playing Living End, dude, you're just punching the wall.
Yeah,
You're just so mad.
Great. Quick touch on Living End, and we'll get to this match. I played through 2 relics and won a match.
Yeah, because sometimes they think their graveyard's enough to make you concede, and you're like, nah, I'll win the hard way.
No.
Or you force it.
I played through it. I would like evoke out a foundation breaker, blow it up, and they're like, all right, crack it, I'll exile your 3 cards that you had there. I'm like, okay. And like 2 turns later they play another one off of Saga. And I'm like,
get it again.
and I'm like, sure, that's fine. And I still just went to town.
So
Granted, the second one I enduranced my yard into the bottom of my library, but
trying to see the cards Jeff has in hand.
iteration,
Yeah.
dispute,
Yup.
and a lot of fast fingers.
They're crazy.
They're
I think the unfortunate part here is when you lose those long game ones, you just know that it's gonna be so hard for you to
Yep.
win game 2. Now,
you're like, we're gonna start off with the draw.
like if Jeff, well, I mean maybe right.
Yeah,
Like
if you're lucky.
you might lose 101.
Yeah.
Because for Jeff, you're the control deck. You have to win the grinding long game.
Mm-hmm.
Because the likelihood of you winning the next one, like in time, not very good. It's not very good at all. But now, if the tables were turned and Corey had lost one, you're like, fine. You're like, I've won games 5 minutes or less.
Yeah.
You're just playing an aggro deck. You're like, I'm going to get him. I'm going to kill him.
See here.
So,
Yeah, just gonna fire off that push against Rag, play the Bloodstained Mire. Should be saying go here, right?
I would say on the side for Jeff, we should be flying.
Yeah, like we're just like land go. We are just
This is one of the parts where, like, obviously, because if you lose 101, it's pretty, like, okay for breakers because you don't have, like, one loss kind of thing.
yeah.
But mainly, like, you almost even chalk up letting yourself, and this is not really recommended most of the time, but, like, almost getting to the point that you might make more misplays because you're trying to play quicker.
Mhm.
You kind of got to take that risk because, like, of where you're at in this game, where you're at on time. Like, Corey's just going to play threats, maybe kill you,
Yeah.
maybe not. Make you answer his stuff the whole game.
And I'm not saying that Corey is doing this, but I know that I have definitely seen players do this where they'll get up that first really long grindy game and not intentionally slow play really bad, but they're not going to play with any haste.
Yeah.
It's not like it's game 3 and there's minutes left in the round.
Because both players are just...
Yeah, both players are like, land or go. I will resolve my shuffling while you're taking your turn.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Jeff is not taking his time with shuffling his deck anymore. He is cramming those cards together, offering the cut, trying to get through this.
Yeah.
Yeah, get a tap land, untap, draw for turn. Oh, we are not drawing our.
It's not looking great
It's not looking great at all.
to, like,
Just
get out of this quickly.
Yeah, we're just drawing lands. Which, hey, if that's the game, we're doing great. But unfortunately, I think 5 is enough. So, see here.
So a little bit of a... so that's our game plan to win quickly. Spy this Yorion. Don't even care about the Dragon Race Chandler.
Yep.
Let him do whatever he's got to. You got a Nile Spellbomb to crack Exile the bin, make it a 1-1. You don't really care. Like, that's what it comes down to. He flips a Croxa, you still don't care. He's like, I'm going to try to jam this 4-5. I'm going to try to protect this 4-5 the best I can. And I'm going to just...
Right now, we're just looking at 3 turns.
Yeah.
Right.
Because also, the die was a little off. Corey's actually at 12. We just got that updated. Sometimes, you're writing it down on the side. You forget to turn die. We tell, we kind of inform players, like, if you could keep track of it, we understand if you forget, because, like, you're keeping track on the side already. So, like, you might forget to turn a die, but, like, when they see one player move it, they go, oh, yeah, I got to move it real quick.
We got Spell Pierce on top. So that's going to... That's good. I mean, it's not good for Jeff, but that's a pretty good card for Corey.
Yeah. Um, no dash, which makes sense, but you just kind of you just want to keep these permanents in play. But I can definitely see where you'd have been like, nah, I'm gonna just dash this, get damage in.
What were we reading there?
I don't know. I think you might have just picked it up in a weird way where it's hand covered most of the card. So you couldn't quite tell.
So we only have one black or one blue available. And none of the cards in our hand are one black or one blue. Thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, this game's just brutal. Honestly. Game is not looking great. Okay.
We got 30 seconds left in this round, then we're going to time.
I imagine so for some of these players. If you're just joining or you're just watching because it's a 2K.
I think we're gonna fire off a damnation.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense here.
But then Yorion, the only problem is you need to play Yorion and pass, so you have the 3 turns with it in play, being able to hit him. But
we gotta make that decision right now.
We're
3,
probably gonna have to go tell
2.
Judge. Okay, maybe our time's still black because he's telling regular players that that's their time in a round. So I'm gonna go find out how much extra time the stream table has.
Be sure to let the players know too, because so they're not like assuming that this is turn 0. Yep. So we're going to pull the mana aside here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Fire off a damnation. Boom. Got it. All right. All right, and we will say go. Untap and draw that Pierce. What? Honestly, I would be thinking to just hold up both the Drown and the Spell Pierce here. Sure. Are we going to pierce that? Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay. 2 and 3. Oh, land.
I wouldn't change it. I think it'll change it out there. But they had plus 5 minutes.
Okay.
And Aaron did walk up to the players and let them know.
Okay.
Before I did.
So we fired off the damnation.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense now that you have some extra time.
Corey fired off he had 3 mana available. He tapped 2 to play the iteration.
Yeah.
And so he had a Steam Vents available. Jeff then Mystical disputed the iteration, and Corey wanted to fight over it, so he fought it with a Spell Pierce. But Corey got the bad end of the deal. Top 3 cards: Island, Unholy Heat.
Yeah, so the weird part here is like, you're like, maybe Unholy Heat's good for this Yorion.
It's not.
Well, you put Unholy Heat on a stack, or cracking his relic.
Yep.
Or bending your stuff. It's doing 2 damage. Not
nearly enough.
And then if you have to bolt it, now you're 2 for 1. The Yorion. That was free. But, we just buy Luris. Luris, also a weird card. Because of the same scenario.
Yeah.
You put Luris on the stack. I'm going to bend your stuff.
Boom.
But then you can, at that point, flash any Unholy Heat. Maybe get it. But the main issue going to be, we're going to untap. Eventually. Or we have to now ourselves. I don't know.
I mean,
which we do. Which,
it
sure,
happens.
That means our thing dies to the Unholy Heat. Drew off a bobble. We
dash the rag. Get in for 6 here.
Yeah, if we play Brack.
Yeah. So remember the whole like creatures thing that we talked about earlier in game 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently we play him.
Apparently we play him. So,
that's 6.
Yeah. That's 6. We put him 2
6 and a treasure.
Yeah.
That's 6 in a mana of any color. This might actually go to a draw.
There's a Thoughtseize off the top. That's good.
Yeah, you're not getting Thoughtseize. That's pretty dope. For you.
Doesn't have the treasure, but that's fine. We know the green card's a treasure.
I mean, I think we just got to jam this Express Federation. Hope we get a counterspell, or we Thoughtseize him, or we Alpha him with his own cards.
Get him good.
That probably makes sense, right? Because you're like, I know he just put Luris in his hand, and I know he has. You don't know about the Unholy Heat, but that looks all bad for you.
I mean, only 2 cards look bad for us.
Drown is fine.
Drown is absolutely
Unholy
fine.
Heat's kind of bad for you, but like, you still got this dashing monkey.
We're gonna crack this and try to find a mystical dispute, aren't we?
I almost feel like if you haven't played land
Boom.
and you have mystical disputes in the deck, I feel like you almost have to.
1, 2, 3. Oh gosh. Okay.
So one obviously went to hand.
Yep.
One went to the bin. One's going to the bottom. So he did play a land because he didn't play it. So he just put it straight in his exile pile.
All right. Their time is coming up in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So they can still get the Unholy Heat, which is, that's a shame.
But again, you're not too stressed just for the fact that like.
But they have the Croxa that they're gonna fire off here, and they're gonna get it back next turn, assuming we can't deal with it.
I mean, pitch one of the 2 rags.
Yeah.
There's the monkey. That's not good. Because if you just saw him pitch the monkey, you know he's either got another one or another threat.
Oh,
never mind. He got another monkey.
So we can play the Saga here, right?
If you're going to play the Saga, you play the Saga first.
Yeah,
obviously.
and then we dash the monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I need to tell them it's time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or just like double check with Aaron. Make sure that on his time he's got it. We have to read the card again. Makes sense. New card. Dashing the monkey.
I assume everything
Round.
went exactly how we expected. The Saga followed by the monkey.
And then the monkey got drowned.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
I mean, you have to know it. You're just going to jam it. So we got turn 1 here.
Fetch, go to 5. Get a basic. So
We do have Corey at 5. So he fetched. He hasn't updated his die yet. But plays out his stuff. Says, "Kill me, mate." Bins are exiled. The card's on 2. We're at 5.
pretty sure we're just
And we're just dead.
Dang.
Jeff loses it 2-0.